Okay, so what we have here is the ZMR250 version 2 carbon fiber 250mm racing drone frame. This guy is purchased off Banggood for about $36. And the question is this really carbon fiber? Because $36 for carbon fiber is ridiculously cheap. The way to test and see if it's true carbon fiber is to attach your multimeter, turn it on to ohms or a connection, either one will work. This is covered in a resin, which is not conductive. However, the fiber is conductive. So as you see here, we get a connection. Same thing anywhere in between here where there's exposed carbon fiber, you have a connection. So this is real, genuine carbon fiber, which is fantastic. And swinging back to the component overview, this is the PCB. This goes between the baseboard and the upper layer board, which houses the battery. So the PCB here, it's got 4 pegs here for your flight controller, and then it's got an additional 8 pegs for the standoffs you see up in the corner here, which will hold the top piece. Your first-person view camera will be housed in this piece between the base and the top. This piece right here is the mounting piece for your GoPro. Here are 4 legs, here are your 4 arms for your motors and ESCs. Okay, so over here we have screws for the standoffs. We also have screws here for the arms of the drone, and then we have some locking nuts for those arms. You have to be a little bit careful with this and make sure that you have all your screws. They didn't have all of the screws there, so I went ahead and bought a few. Okay, so let's push some of these things off that we don't need right now. Okay, so this PCB has a few things on it. It's got positive and negative for the battery on both sides, and then it's got 2 sets of positive and negative for the ESCs, which is here, 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 and here. In the center here, we've got 2 voltage regulators. One is a 12-volt regulator, and the other one is a 5-volt voltage regulator. And then right here we've got a set of 6 pinouts. Here's a 5-volt pinout that comes directly from the 5-volt controller. Now these additional pins here lead to these external pins on the quadricopter. On the flip side of the PCB, we've got these LEDs. I have already soldered these on here, but these comes with 4 sets of LEDs. They have red, green, blue, and white. I've soldered the green on the front and the red on the back. You can test them with a 12-volt adapter. So now that we've taken a look at that, let's start the build. So first thing you want to do is put your standoffs into the PCB. The standoffs are connected directly into the PCB. You're going to need a couple of these shorter screws, and then you're going to need an Allen wrench. So let's get started. We're going to use the outer 4 set of peg holes. So let's go ahead and do that. The next step here is to attach our forearms and our base plate here. So the base plate is a structural element that goes along the base of the PCB like this. The arms that hold the motors and the ESCs are sandwiched directly in between the PCB and the base layer, as you can see. For connecting the 4 arms, we're going to need our longer screws, so 4 screws per arm, and then we're going to need 4 locking nuts associated with each arm. It's a lot nicer looking if you put it with the Allen key going straight down to the PCB, so that your locking nuts are on the bottom of the quadricopter instead of the top. Okay, so now we got all of those guys in there. I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter socket with this into Allen. And let's go ahead and tighten these guys. Let's tighten the rest of the screws down. That is what your guy will look like without its roof on. Before you actually start screwing in the roof, you're going to want to set your camera mount. So your first person view camera sits here. We're going to use the smaller screws to attach this. Okay, we've just got one more piece to put on there, and that is the camera mount. The camera mount is this guy right here, and it's got 4 spongy holders to attach it to the roof right here. They actually didn't give me enough screws, first of all, so I had to go to the local hardware store, and that's where I got some 1/2 inch long, I got some inch long, and I got some 3/4 inch long, just to see which ones work best. We're going to take our little sponge standoffs, and we're going to poke them through this hole right here, all 4 of them, to make them kind of like a springboard. Okay, so now that all 4 of our little rubber standoffs, we put it here, the long part sticking out faces forward. So now I'm going to take our 4 440 1/2 inch long screws, and put them through the top. Awesome sauce, so now we got a nice little springy board. Final thing to do here and that is add our legs. The way that you attach them is you look at the arm, go to the skinniest part of the arm, which is down here where the motor sits, slide one end on one side, and just push. It feels like it's gonna break. It won't. It's carbon fiber. It's pretty strong. So you just push it on, and bam, voila, there's one. So I'm gonna zoom in real close here so you can get a feel for how to attach this. You hook one side on, and then you just push and pull with the other side, and bam, it's clipped on. Let's get a little bit of an in-air view for this one. I'm gonna clip the one side underneath, like this, and then the other side you're gonna pull and push up at the same time. So pull and push up, slide right on there. The first time you do this, it's really taut, so it's hard to do, but after you do it for a couple times, the carbon fiber kind of loosens up. So one side, and then bam. So now you have your full-blown quad. It's pretty sweet looking. It actually looks like a real thing now once it's all put together. And it's even going to be sweeter looking with all of the electrical components stuffed inside of there. So if you're interested in this build, subscribe and stay tuned for further build notifications. And thanks for watching this video.